All right, treat yourself to fresh baked sourdough bread and maybe sourdough brownies, sourdough cookies.
Say what now? What? There's a woman in Linden who's making all of this possible and making it affordable. Katie Thomas joining us this morning from Storybook Bakehouse. Good morning, Katie.
Good morning.
Okay, so now it sounds like you started this business kind of by accident. You were baking more than the family could eat. What a terrible problem.
I know, I did. Yeah, it started very organically. I got into sourdough a couple years ago when I became a full-time stay-at-home mom to my two boys, and it was very therapeutic, it was very fun, but yeah, we were baking so much more than we could eat, so we kind of turned it into a little barter system with our neighbors. Here, I'll give you a loaf of bread, and could you chicken eggs, something from your garden, and then it just kind of organically grew from there. I started getting multiple orders a week. And eventually just kind of streamlined the system, and it kind of poofed into its own little business, and it's been so much fun.
The bartering, it's so quaint. It's like
right?
such like an old-timey thing. So,
isn't it?
As I understand, so you sell these, like you set up like a little, I don't know, bake shop, for lack of a better term, in front of your house.
That's what those shelvings are that we're seeing.
Yeah, I do, yeah. So probably a couple weekends a month, you'll see this at the end of my driveway. I usually have out some coffee or some lemonade that people can, grab complimentary while they're shopping. And then occasionally I'll take some pre-orders, and then I'll have everything set up on my porch. I just do that through an online system, and then everything is just packaged up and ready for people to come grab. But it's very nice, very hands-free, very quick, so much fun.
So I was reading that your son had special needs, and you realized you wouldn't be going back to the traditional workforce. So what has it been for you? How's it been for you to be able to do this at home and have it turn into what it's turned into?
It has really been a blessing. Our oldest son was diagnosed with autism officially earlier this year, and a couple years ago when we kind of saw that was the route that it was probably going to go, we knew that my role would be more of a long-term caretaker instead of somebody who would eventually return to the workforce. And this has been really a huge blessing. I'm able to wake up before my kids and bake. I'm able to stay awake after they're asleep and then still take him to his school, his appointments, and be present for him. And I mean, that's really that's the American dream for me, honestly, is being able to be there for all the moments and kind of work around what my family needs. And yeah, it's honestly, it's been a huge blessing in disguise. I love being home with them.
I love that so much.
And I feel like Storybook, that's the perfect name for your business. What made you call it Storybook Bakehouse?
We are a huge family of readers. I mean, one of the really cool things about my son and a lot of autistic individuals is they have a huge love of letters and learning. He has something that's called hyperlexia, and so he actually taught himself to read before he was 3 years old.
Oh, wow.
Sounding out words, and I mean, he is reading. When we tested him, he's reading at like a first grade level right now. And it's just so funny because both of his parents were huge, lovers of books. And so that's really kind of where I got the name, is just our whole familial love of reading.
I love everything about this. Okay, we do have to ask you what kinds of bread, because people are like, ooh, I want to support.
Yeah, let me show you. Come here. Yeah. So we have our classic sourdough loaves over here, and then on this side we have some jalapeno cheddar. Those are pretty much our two staple pieces. And then, I love to get creative with some of the sweets. I just tried out a sourdough cosmic brownie whoopie pie.
What?
And that has been a huge hit. Amazing.
Yeah. Sounds
Me
like
snacking on it at 2 in the morning. And then we have cookies and brownies and scones. It's really been really fun and therapeutic just to kind of experiment with the different flavors and see kind of what you can add sourdough to. And I like to say it makes it healthier. You can take with that information, maybe with a grain of salt.
Well, and so your menu changes throughout the year. This is the fall menu, correct? How often do you change it?
Honestly, whenever I feel like I want to try something new, I do try to stick, with pumpkin and apple for fall and gingerbread for Christmas and things like that. But it's really just, that's part of the fun, is just whatever sounds good, I'll give it a try. I'll put it out in the stand one weekend, and if it's a hit, I'll put it on the menu seasonally or permanently.
That's my kind of baker. Okay, if folks want to make some orders, what do they do?
So I have this stand out pretty much every other weekend here in Linden. I also have a website over on Hot Plate. I drop my menus over there, again, usually every other week. You can order through there. I also just take Instagram messages or Facebook messages because sometimes that's easier for people
love
too.
it. I love this whole thing. Katie,
know, right?
thank you so much. We're going to link all that information to our website so
Thank
people
you.
can find you. But that stuff looks delicious, by the
Yeah,
way,
it does.
too. Thank you, Katie.
Thank you.
I
Love that.
sweet
It's a
is
beautiful
that?
story behind it,
Yeah,
too.
I love it.
Awesome.